Good evening, everybody. How are you? Today, we are going to start the Australian literature, which is a very important, but this unit, this topic, you can say, often underestimated area in English literature. But there are few important writers, which is very important for the exam perspective. So you must not miss them. Okay. So Australian literature, like we prepare for British, American, Indian. Similarly, in Australian literature, there are important topics that we have to keep in mind specifically, like Australian literature specifically gives voice to a nation that actually shaped by colonization, exile, landscape, indigenous culture, and identity crisis. These are the things while preparing about Australian literature you have to keep in mind. Okay. So if any of you want the PDF, you can join the channel and email for the PDF notes. Okay. Without a delay, let's start the class. But because due to my health issues, we are already getting delayed. So Australian literature, what are the important things that you should prepare by yourself and also you must focus on? So Australian literature are like British one we have that everything started from the very beginning. We study. Australian literature matters as part of post-colonial literature. Post-colonial literature. It explores colonizer versus colonized ship or colonized relationship, you can say. Okay. Also, it focuses on identity, which is very important part of Australian literature. Identity, displacement, you can note it down, displacement and landscape. We will discuss everything. Also, one you must have heard Aboriginal. Aboriginal voices. Okay, so these are the things that you must keep in mind while preparing specifically for Australian literature. So, Australian literature, it began as a British penal colony in 1788 around, and its early writing was like the initial writers, the early writers of Australian literature, Australian colony, dominated by British settlers. British settlers. So you can say that the initial part or initial phase of Australian literature was like an imitation of British ones. Okay, so you can say that literature initially imitative of the British models. British models, and then later how it gradually shifted towards national identity. This is what actually Australian literature focuses on. And the one thing very important about Australian literature, you all know we prepare literary movements. Literary movements, which is very important. So, unlike moments in Australian literature, you have to prepare phases, major phases, major phases of Australian literature. Okay, so these are the important things. And also, what are the themes that specifically all the writers, all the Australian writers have explored in their work? Okay, so let's just start the class. Do subscribe the channel and share to all your friends. Okay, let's just start the class. Thank you so much for joining. So just as I told you that Australian literature, it is an imitation initially of the British models. British literature, you can say. So Australian literature, we particularly talk about, it refers to the diverse body of written and oral works produced by the people of the Commonwealth of Australia and its preceding colonies. After that, Commonwealth of Australia, specifically the writers now. Okay, so this is what the Australian literature now became an important for exam. What are the scopes and compositions? So here you will study Aboriginal oral and written traditions. Example, modern definitions that actually recognizes the Australian literature began thousands of years ago with the complex oral storytelling, song sequences, and dreaming narratives of indigenous Australians. The way drama started, the way English literature, English language from dialect to English, it proper came into being, and we study English as a global language now. So this is what here it mentions how Australian literature started. Okay, since the 1960s, this has expanded to include major written works by authors such as we have Odgero Nonkel and Sally Morgan. Important writers. Remember all the writers, which is very important. Specifically, the few words like Patrick White, Peter Carey, A.D. Hope, and here it mentioned Nonukal, Odgiru. Its real name was Kath Walker. The name, this was the name that she has changed. Settlers and colonial records, if we will go, it was early Western contributions include the journals, memoirs, and diaries of European explorers and administrators like Watkin Tench, which documented the first encounters with the land and its people. So Australian literature specifically also talk about the landscape, landscape's beauty, you can say. Okay, the geographical location, important word, geographical. So this was established in the late 19th century that includes bush ballads and short stories that helped forge a distinct national identity, moving away from purely British models. Okay, so moving away from purely British models, that means here now Australian writers are not imitating anymore the British literature, British writers, British work, but here they are now creating their own identity. They are talking about their national identity. They are getting distinct from the British ones. Here they are now getting differentiated. What are the core things that Australian literature majorly focuses and they have explored in their work? So Australian literature, sorry, frequently defined by its exploration of the Australian experiences. Okay, the first, the land and the environment, often described as the beauty and the terror, very important, focusing on the harshness of the bush, the outback, and the unique geographical locations. Okay, so remember the first theme. Second, national identity and mateship. Here it values of egalitarianism, loyalty among peers, mateship, and the struggle to define an identity separate from Britain. Like when you imitate somebody's work, you do not have your own identity, right? So here the identity crisis, if they are talking about, or the national identity, and separating from the British one. So this is what actually it means. Now, in post-colonial tensions, this theme that explores the conflict between settler narratives and indigenous displacement, as well as the experience of migrants in a multicultural society. Okay. Apart from all these themes, here are the few important: aboriginality, egalitarianism, democracy, migration, and complexities of urban living. So these are the important tips that you will majorly find in the Australian writer's work. Okay, highlighted words and phrases you must remember. Now in modern evolution, sorry for my voice, everyone. Today, the category is like dynamic rather than it fixed. So it increasingly, you can say, it includes multicultural and migrant literature, Australian literature from the tradition to modern, how it evaluated, reflecting Australia's diverse population and newer genres like grunge literature. Okay, remember Australian. This is the part of Australian literature which focuses on disenfranchised urban youth. Australian literature is viewed through a post-colonial lens, examining how settler colony adapted the English language to express a unique antipodian reality. Okay, remember the three highlighted points here. So it means Australian literature be studied or viewed as the lens with the lens of post-colonial. Okay. Now, what are the phases? Which is very important. I told you phases of Australian literature. So there you will find colonial and convict writing, bush literature and nationalism, modernist and interwar writing, post-war literature, and post-colonial and indigenous writing till present. Okay, so these are the phases, and in these phases, who are the writers, the works that produced, you must know, because questions majorly came from this part, phases of Australian literature. So in colonial, the phases I have discussed here. So in the colonial part and convict, early Australian writing, you will find from this 1788 to 1890. In this, the similar to early colonial literature in English tradition, like you will find travel writing, convict narratives, or exploration of journals. This is the initial phase of Australian writings. And here you can remember that the writing was as documentation and not as an art. And here you will find the major influence of British literature. Okay? Major influence of British literature on the initial phases of Australian writing. Second one, you have the national movement, the 1890s to 1910s. It's extremely problematic to record class like this. This is the closest equivalent to romanticism and nationalism, the one we have in British literature. The core idea of the nationalist movement was to create a distinct Australian identity that will be separate from the Britain one. That means here the people now going to write their own work basis on their experience of Australia, specifically the country now they are going to talk about. They are going to talk about the beauty of the country, experience, society, and there won't be any reflect of Britain. Okay, so here this word separation is very important, and that separation you will find in the second phase, the nationalist movement of Australian literature. Okay, I hope you are getting all the points clear. The key features of this nationalist movement is bush life, mateship, anti-British elitism, and rural realism. So specifically those works that are created in these phases, you will find the feature. Okay. It's extremely difficult. The key groups. In the second phase, the nationalist movement, there are the groups like we have literary movement and literary groups, Bloomsbury group, we have romanticism. Similarly, here you will find the bulletin school, which is very, very important. It is a magazine, the bulletin, that was founded in 1880. Okay, and the writers in this movement, the nationalist movement, you will find Henry Lawson, E.B. Banjo Peterson, Joseph Murphy, and Barbara Benton. Here the questions that already appeared in the exam, that Henry Lawson belonged to which movement, which is the nationalist movement. I have to stop this class. Nationalist movement, okay? The bulletin school is also associated with the nationalist movement and also Bush realism versus romantic Bush myth. You will find in the same nationalist movement. Okay, my voice is coming very bad. Now, the modern Australian literature, another movement we have, which is not movement but phase. The time period was 1920s to 1950s, and it compares to modernism in England but adapted locally in Australia. The key features of modernist Australian literature: psychological realism, urban experience, and disillusionment after world wars, the first and the second. Okay, important writers, here you will find Patrick White, which has already won Nobel Prize in 1973 for the work Was. Christina Steed, Judith Wright. Okay, and here you will find the NTS focus, that Patrick White as modernist novelist and alienation and existential themes that was explored in modernist or modern Australian literature by these writers. Okay. Another one you will find the phase indigenous aboriginal literary renaissance, 1960s onwards. Okay. Aboriginal writers appear a lot in the exam, and indigenous also. So must not forget to prepare their work, at least their name. So here indigenous and aboriginal writers compared to African American Renaissance, post-colonial resistance writing, and the key features they talk about: voices of the dispossessed, oral tradition versus written form, and political resistance. Okay. In the writers, majorly you have Ungiro Nonukul, which is with former name Kath Walker, Jack Davis, Kim Scott, and Alexis Wright. Here the question is already appeared in the exam. They have asked the first Aboriginal poet, which is Kath Walker. Okay, mentioned here. The name that has changed is this. This question is also asked: the name change and political symbolism, indigenous identity in literature. So these type of questions you can see. Now another one we have more post-colonial multicultural turn, 1980s till present. So it was compared to post-colonial literature like Salman Rushdie and Chinua Acheb's work. We have Midnight Children and Things Fall Apart. Diasporic writing. So here you will majorly find diasporic writing and post-colonial literature. And the themes in this phase you will find migration, hybridity, identity crisis, and Asian Australian voices. Okay, and the writers that who has explored: Peter Carey, David Malouf, and Tim Winter. These are the writers. So these are the phases. that is actually important. So do not forget the writers who are related with the particular phase, the writers, the theme, their work, and important highlights. Okay. Now let's see the next word. Now let's see some of the important writers in Australian literature. So first and very important, the one you can say major part who has played a big role establishing Australian literature, we have Patrick White. Patrick White, the first and very popular writer, not first we can say, but the one who won the first Nobel Prize. Nobel Prize, no? And he got very famous, like media was covering, and like he gained popularity. He made Australia famous because of his writing. The Australian literature get the popularity because of him, you can say. So that is why the real full name Patrick Victor Martindale White. The name is too long. And the important work you must not forget, Happy Valley 1939, The Living and the Dead 1941, important work, The Aunt's Story 1948, The Tree of Man 1955, Was, which is very important work. This one important and Was, very, very important work. Okay. Here, winner of the inaugural Miles Franklin Award, Riders in the Chariot, 1961, The Solid Mandala, this is also very important. The VV Sector, 1970, The Eye of the Storm, 1973, A Fringe of Leaves, 1976, The Trayvon Affair, 1979, Memoirs of Manny Inman, 1986, and The Hanging Garden, 2012. This work was unfinished and posthumously. So these are the important works by Patrick White. Okay, remember. Another writer we have Peter Carey, 1943. Bliss, very important, 1981. Eli Waker, 1985. Oscar and Lucinda, 1988. Booker Prize winner. The Tax Inspector, 1991. The Unusual Life of Tristan Smith, 1994. Jack Banks, 1997. True History of the Cali Gang, 2000, which also won Booker Prize. My Life as a Fake, 2003. Theft, a Love Story, 2006. And His Illegal Self, 2008. Okay. And many more. His Parrot and Olivier in America, 2010. The Chemistry of Tears, very important work, 2012. Amnesia, 2014. And A Long Way from Home, 2017. So these are the important works by Peter Carey. David Malouf we have, which was a poet and novelist, Jono, 1975, which was a debut novel, and Imaginary Life, 1978, Fly Away Peter, 1982, The Great World, 1990, Remembering Babylon, 1993, very important, and Ransom, 2009, appear in the chronology and batchy questions. Okay. So here for the work An Imaginary Life, you must not forget An Imaginary Life 1978. He talks about the Roman poet Ovid. Okay, this is also a PYQ. Which poet he talk about? The Roman poet Ovid. In which work An Imaginary Life, published 1978. Writer Peter Carey. Okay, sorry, David Malouf. Now Miles Franklin we have my Brilliant Career 1901, Some Everyday Folk at Dawn 1909, and All That Swagger 1936. Thomas, please cross check the year everyone. You can notify me. Thomas Cadley, we have The Shant of Jimmy Blacksmith 1972, Schindler's Ark, Booker Prize winner, which is also known as Schindler's List, and this is already a PYQ, which work known as by Thomas Kelly as a Schindler's List is this one, Schindler's Ark. Okay, Booker Prize winner. This work is. Now in poetry we have A.D. Hope, very important. A.D. Hope, The Wandering Island, 1955, which is a first poetry collection, poems 1960, The Cave and the Spring, 1965, Duncan Miner, 1970, and A Book of Answers, 1977, originally published in 1978. Notable poem you must not forget to prepare Australia. It is the first published in the literary journal Minjid, 1943, okay, and wrote in 1939. The work Australia. We will discuss few important works later. So stay tuned and please share to all the one who are preparing. Now another important writer we have Judith Wright. Judith Wright, The Moving Image 1946, Woman to Man 1949, Woman to Child 1949, important work, Old Prison 1949, The Moving Image 1953, The Gateway 1943, and this is the correct 1940, 1953. This one is the correct one, okay? The Gateway 1953, The Two Fires 1955, Birds 1962, Hunting Snake 1964 by Judith Wright. Now here the about the moving image, the pointers that you must not forget. The Moving Image 1946 is the acclaimed first collection of poems by Wright. Okay. This work is notable for its mature voice, exploration of Australian landscape and history, and also weaving together the personal, cultural, and social themes, establishing her as a significant literary figure with poems like Bulloki, South of My Days, that explores identity of materialism and nature. Okay, these are the poems that you will find in this work. Okay. This work was published in Mid Press in 1946. It was her debut book. Judith writes, making a strong impression, and notable poems in here you will find Bulloki, Bora Ring, and South of My Days. Very important. Another important writer, Les Bore, The Vernacular Republic 1976, not as important as the one we have just discussed, but still you get familiar about all the writers. Freddie Neptune, 1998, Wars novel. This work is. Kenneth Slessor, we have 100 poems, 1944, notable poem, Five Bells, 1939. Now, indigenous and non-fiction voices, which is the first one we have, Ungero Norukal, 1920. We are going the work, very important, 1964, the first book of poetry published by an Aboriginal Australian writers. Which work is this? We are going. Okay. Remember the real name, Kath Walker. Sally Morgan, My Place, very important work, 1987. It is a seminal autobiography and on identity and the stolen generations. Stolen generations, very important. Henry Lawson, we have now. Henry Lawson, while the Billy Boyles, 1896, it is a short story collection and notable story, The Drover's Wife, 1892. Okay. Drama, you will find Ray Lawler, Ray Lawler's drama Summer of the 17th Doll, 1955. David Williamson, we have The Removalist, 1971, and Don's Party, 1971. Okay. Another by David Williamson, we have The Club, which is also in 1977. Now here the major works highlights we will discuss. So Was is very important novel by Patrick White. Check if it is on. So was is a very important work by Patrick White. Novel it is written by Patrick White, the writer. Remember the Nobel Prize? Yes, Nobel Prize in literature. The first Australian writer was Patrick White, who won Nobel Prize in 1973. This work's genre is modernist and philosophical fiction novel. Okay, based on the explorer Ludwig Leichhardt's ill-fated 1845 expedition. So it is a symbolic spiritual journey into the Australian dead heart rather than just a physical one. Okay. Remember all the highlighted words. So here was the work is regarded as the single most important Australian novel for understanding the failure of colonial humanity, the spiritual emptiness of Western nationalism, and the transformation of Australian landscape into metaphysical space. This work really has played a significant role in establishing Australian literature. Okay, Patrick White here transforms the Australian desert into a metaphysical space, making the novel central to modernist and post-colonial readings. While he also deliberately rejects bush realism and national heroism. Also, instead, he creates a modernist anti-epic where he explores leads not to triumph but to spiritual unbreaking. What he has rejected, what he has added, and what are the themes that he has explored, what he has highlighted in this work specifically, what he actually trying to say and tried to say, you all must know. So the pointers you cannot forget. This work is inspired by Ludwig Leichhardt, a German explorer who disappeared in the Australian desert. Written in post-World War II, okay, post-World War II context when faith in heroic masculinity collapsed, imperial ideologies were questioned. Australia is portrayed not as New Europe but as epistemologically resistant land. So that is why this work is important. The major themes that you must not forget: exploration as a spiritual hubris. Here, exploration is shown not as heroism but as ego driven conquest. So, Waugh's journey reflects Western arrogance toward land and nature, how we behave, how we treat our land, our nature. Second important theme, landscape as metaphysics. So, landscape as metaphysics means that the desert is not a setting but a testing ground of the soul. Nature resists interpretation and mastery. Okay, inner versus outer journey. It reflects physical journey that was as a spiritual journey that has Laura. It also suggests that a true knowledge is inward. Failure versus revelation theme that highlights death and failure are not defeat and they enable spiritual continuity. Okay. Also important, Nietzschean, a Superman ideology that suffering as a wisdom. So this is also important theme. Okay. Remember the character Johann Ulrich was a German explorer who represents Western metaphysical arrogance, who also believes knowledge as domination and symbol of imperial ego. So here was believes the land must submit to human will. Yeah, this is the quote you line you must remember. And was is not a hero; he is a tragic embodiment of imperial ego. Okay. Another important character, Laura Travelling, lives in Sydney, never physically travels into the desert, yet shares a mystical bond with Voss and represents intuitive wisdom. So here Laura is not a romantic heroine, but she represents intuition, spiritual receptivity, and endurance beyond death. Okay. From the perspective of critics, Patrick White rejected realism and called his work a search for the truth of being, in which work was a search for the being of truth. This is the line by critics they have talked about. They have shared and given their opinion. Critics often compare Voss to Virginia Woolf's interiority and Faulkner's symbolic landscape. And in post-colonial critic read Voss as a critic of European epistemology imposed on Australia. So post-colonial critics, remember, studied Voss as European epistemology. Who? Post-colonial critics. Here are the quotes, lines that you can remember. The desert it was is not a place to be conquered, but a force that unmakes human certainty. And from for the exam perspective, was as hubris, Patrick White, a modernist, not post realist, was that explores demytholized desert as a metaphysical space. Laura has no love interest, spiritual continuity, and White's status as Australia's first Nobel laureate, 1973, and his psychological narrative art. Okay, so these are the important highlights of Patrick White's work was, which is very important for all the English literature exam perspective. Another important work we have, The Drover's Wife. The Drover's Wife 1892 is a short story by Henry Lawson. Okay. The phase that relates is bush realism. This story is the foundation of text of Australian bush realism. It deliberately rejects romantic nationalism and presents the bush as a site of hardship, isolation, and silent endurance. Okay. So remember the work important and its highlight. The major themes that this work is explored: bush realism, the bush is here harsh, monotonous, and threatening. There is no heroism, only they are talking about a survival. Female endurance like when woman bears responsibility in male absence. Quiet strength replaces masculine adventure. Human versus nature. Here, snake symbolizes constant invisible danger. Okay, so remember all the important themes. The key character in this work you will find the drover's wife, which has no name, who left alone with children, protects her family from snake. Sorry, symbol of a silent endurance. Like what type of a struggle or endurance she has been through the life after living alone with the children. This is what the drover's wife here it mentioned. Okay, so it's all about the female endurance, a single woman who raising her child without male. Also the woman represents the anonymous, that is the settler woman, and also it represents strength lies in persistence, not in action. The critics, what they have said, they have regarded Lawson as the voice of the bush, that is the people. Unlike Banjo Peterson, Lawson here represents anti-romantic realism, often paired with a Banjo Peterson. Okay, remember. You can prepare this work basis on the feminist reading possible, Bush, which has no adventure and story without a heroic climax. Another important work, we are talking about the work of Australian literature. So everybody do subscribe the channel and also share. You can comment and join the channel for the PDF. My Brilliant Career 1901. It is a novel by Miles Franklin. Okay. It is one of the earliest feminist novels in Australian literature, and also it is a semi-autobiographical and foundational to women's writing. Okay, the major theme that this work plays: female autonomy, rejection of marriage as destiny, and desire for artistic independence. Okay, My Brilliant Career, 1901, the work of novel written by Miles Franklin, one of the Australian writer. Now, the theme gender versus society. So, in the gender versus society, there you will find the patriarchal rural Australia, where you will find they restrict the women. The key character must remember Cybella Melvin, who is intelligent, ambitious, and also rejects marriage. So here Cybella chooses selfhood over romance. Okay, so that is why intelligent, ambitious, and that's why because of all this she rejects marriage. This work, as a point of view, from the point of view of critics, seen as a precursor to Australian feminist fiction. Okay, all the highlights I've tried to mention. So here Cybele is often compared with Jane Eyre and modern feminist protagonist, the one that we have already seen in British literature. Okay. Next important work, Fly Away Peter, which is a war novel written by David Mullough. 1982. It is one of the most studied Australian World War First novels. Most studied. Remember which work it is, of Fly Away Peter, 1982, by David Mullough. Okay. Major themes that this work you will find: loss of innocence. That means in war, if there is a war, whether it's a civil war or the world war, you all know that innocence you find destroyed. So war here destroys natural harmony. Second, nature versus mechanized war. Here, birds and landscape contrast with the trenches. Australian identity in European war. So, outsider soldiers in imperial conflict. Here, you will find that the people of Australia struggling with their identity. Okay, key characters, remember Jim Sadler, who is innocence, and Ashley Crowther, a privileged idealism. From the critical perception, the Malov here treats war as existential rapture, not heroism, and also compared with Wilfred Owen's Loss and Pity. Okay. For the exam, you can remember this is based on World War First Australian perspective, nature imagery, and it is the anti-war narrative work. Okay. Remember, Fly Away Peter by David Malov, war novel. This work is. Now let's see the another important work. Remembering Babylon, this is very, very, very much important work. You must not forget. 1993 post-colonial novel, which is also by David Mullough. Okay, it is a key post-colonial Australian novel that deals with settler anxiety, indigenous contact, and identity crisis. A post-colonial Australian novel that deals with settler anxiety, indigenous contact, and identity. One of the important and most common thing in Australian literature you will find is identity crisis. Okay, so remember major themes: liminal identity, that means neither white nor indigenous fully here, fear of the other, that means colonial paranoia, language and belonging. Language here defines identity. The language you speak, this is what your identity will define by. Key character here, Gammy Fairley, who is a white child raised by Aboriginal people in this work, liminal identity and embodies cultural hybridity. From the perspective of critics, they strongly linked this work to post-colonial theory. Gammy is read as a symbol of cultural in betweenness. Okay, so these are the important highlights. Now, another important, very important work, True History of the Calais Gang. True History of a Calais Gang, 2000. This work's genre is historical and neo-historical fiction by Peter Carey. This work has also won Booker Prize in 2001 and written as a fictional autobiography of Ned Calais. Ned Calais, important character. So here NTA will ask you that you have to identify the novel written as Ned Calais' Confession. Okay. Now, so this work is definitive Australian postmodern historical novel. So here Carey rewrites colonial history, Peter Carey, from the outlaw's perspective. He also challenges British imperial law and authority. So all the Australian literature now here writing from their own perspective. So somehow here you can feel that the British literature or British colonialization here they are not talking in a positive way, not in a good sense. He also turns criminality into political resistance, and this novel redefines national heroism, history versus fiction, and truth versus narrative construction. Okay, central character very important Ned Kelly, who is a ranger, outlaw, and folk hero, portrayed not as criminal but as a victim of colonial injustice and product of Irish marginalization. Okay, major themes that this work explore: counter history, colonial law versus justice, Irish-British conflict, myth making and national identity, and voice of the subaltern settler. I'm feeling better than the previous class, the yesterday, and it's all because I'm receiving a lot of ma'am, take care of yourself and please. So thank you so much, everybody. I do not want to skip a day now. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. This work, often read with postmodern historiography and also compared with Salman Rushdie's Midnight Children and Margaret Atwood's Alice Grace. Okay, remember, they can ask you anything. So even the smallest point about the work or the writer is important. Now, another important work highlight you have Cloud Street. Cloud Street is a family saga and social realism by Tim Winter, 1991. You can cross check the year and please notify me too. When you notified, I feel that you have watched video very thoroughly, like in detail. So this novel is a novel of two working class families, and those two working class families, you must remember, here Cloud Street is considered as the national novel of post-war Australia, and it is also a landmark in working class representation. So Winter here brings spirituality into realism and ordinary life into epic narrative. Okay, so remember the Cloud Street. What does it refer or represent or considered as, because sometimes NTA also asks the meaning of the title and the perspective of Winton to bring spirituality into realism. The central families, the both we are talking about here is the Lamb family and the Pickles family, okay? And the Cloud Street. So house at Cloud Street function as a symbol of shared national space and communal memory, okay? The themes of the Cloud Street, you must remember belonging and homelessness, community versus individualism, faith, chance, and fate, and ordinary heroism. These are the important major themes. Now, this work, as per the critic, they have compared Steinbeck's social realism and also they seen this work as anti-elitist Australian canon. Okay, remember which work? This is the Cloud family, which has two central families. The first one, Lamb, and the Pickles. Now, poems. Let's talk about the important poems you have. We are going very important. 1964. Genre, this is work is a poetry collection by Udgiro Nonkal. The real name is Kath Walker. Okay, former name Kath Walker. And I have told you why she has changed the name so you can remember. So about this work, here let me tell you why did she change her name. Sorry for the font. So Kath Walker, born the name as Kathleen Jean Mary Rusk, changed her name to Odgiro Nonkal in 1988, with some sources noting the announcement in late in 1987 as a symbolic act of protest, and an assertion of her indigenous identity. So here, after why did she change? She renounced her English name as a rejection of Europeanization. Remember, she stated that she returned to her traditional name because the British government had neglected her people for 2 centuries and had imposed English names simply because they could not spell Aboriginal ones. That means the type of name Aboriginal people have, Britishers are not able to write or pronounce properly. So that is why they are not spelling them correctly also. So that's why she needs to change her name. And they have also been neglecting the people. So here Udgero means a paper bark tree in her native language that symbolizes her role as a chronicle and educator. And Nunukul, that means Nunukul, is the name of a tribe from the Minjeriba, that North Stradrock Island. Okay. So for the exam perspective, the question that is already, which Aboriginal poet changed her name as an act of resistance? So now you remember Kath Walker. And what is the name? Udguru Nonukal. So this is the first published book of poetry by an Aboriginal Australian. We are talking about We Are Going. That was the information about the writer, that why did she change her name. So I put that. Now we are going. This is the first published book of poetry by an Aboriginal Australian. It marks entry of indigenous voice into Australian literature and poetry as a political protest. So central poem in the We Are Going collection, you will find Lament for Lost Land and Collective Aboriginal Voices. And the themes that they explore here: dispossession, cultural erasure, indigenous identity, and colonial violence. Okay. And what the critics has said, critics considered protest poetry We Are Going, and that is important for post-colonial studies. So many of the Australian works, as per the critical perception, they have put the Australian work in post-colonial lens. That means if you are going to analyze or see the work through the lens of post-colonial literature. Okay. Another important, My Place by Sally Morgan. Very important. 1987. It is an autobiography. That means the writing life writing. So here the important exam phrase you must remember: recovery of stolen identity. In which work you will find My Place, and who is the writer? Sally Morgan. Okay. So this work opened mainstream space for indigenous autobiographical writing and also exposed the stolen generations. Okay. The themes: identity recovery, silenced history, intergenerational trauma, and memory and storytelling. The critics has said and paired this work with Follow the Rabbit Proof fans that used in trauma studies and life writing questions. Okay. So remember about the place highlight. Now, another work, Follow the Rabbit Proof Fence 1996 by Doris Pilkington Garrimer. Indigenous life narrative, this work highlights. So, this work was also published as Follow the Rabbit Proof Fence, the true story of three girls. Remember the title, original title, something like that. You must know the former title. So, this work is also published as Follow the Rabbit Proof Fence and the true story of three Aboriginal girls. Okay, so this is the another title. This work forced removal of Aboriginal children and also government assimilation policies. In this work you will find. So the themes that this work explores: survival, maternal resistance, colonial violence, and journey motive. Sorry. Now let's see some of the drama. But the works that we have discussed earlier are very important, so do not miss. So in drama, that is actually known as national realism in Australian literature. So Summer of the 17th Doll by Ray Lon. This work portrays a seasonal cane cutters in Melbourne that also recognized as the turning point for a distinct Australian theatrical voice away from British dramatic models. Okay. In poetry, another Woman to Man. This is very important. 1949, South of My Days, 1946 by Judith Wright. So this work, Wright's work is crucial for its shift toward an organic female perspective of a landscape. The theme that she has explored, pregnancy and generation in Woman to Man, the which is the Blood's Country. Remember, in which work by Judith Wright, and the work is Woman to Man. Okay, Blood's Country of the Australian outback and early ecological indigenous rights advocacy. Another important work, very, very important, by A.D. Howe, Australia 1939 and Imperial Adam. So Australia is famous for describing the continent as a nation of trees that drab green, desolate grey. Okay, I think I have added the important highlights of this work here. The poem here famously questions Australia's cultural depth. Australia is the work by A.D. Hope, remember, calling its people monotonous tribes and its cities five teeming swords, replacing the romantic view of Australia with a stark survivalist reality. So, five teeming swords, monotonous tribe, Australia's cultural depth. Which work highlights? This is the work Australia by A.D. Hope. Okay, Australia by A.D. Hope, 1939. Okay. This work is often seen as a response to Dorothy Mackellar's patriotic My Country work, flipping its sentiment with line, whose boast is not we live but we survive. Remember the line? This work majorly explored the themes that is actually satirical classicism and the tension between European heritage and the new land. Okay, new land. Here is the My Country work by Dorothy Mackellar, 1908, known for the iconic lines describing a sunburned country. It represents early romantic nationalism and a patriotic response to the landscape. So remember the work. Now there are few important works which is known as war poetry in Australian literature. So here, War in World War First by C.J. Dennis. The work was the Songs of a Sentimental Bloke in 1915. This work you can remember for the memory-based questions or the matching or chronology questions. Okay, they can ask anything. In World War First and Second, between both, David Malouf, Bring Fly Away Peter, 1982. This is the prose by Thomas Kennelly. You can remember the work The Book Thief, 2005. Holocaust Context. And Schindler's Ark, alternate title of this work is Schindler's List. This work is already appear in the exam. This question. So which work is known as the Schindler's List? That is Schindler's Ark, okay, by Thomas Kennelly. So I hope all the points are clear to you, okay, with of Australian literature. From the writers, all the work is mentioned here. You can remember, and the important work is also discussed. Now, let me show you some of the questions that you can practice. The questions are here. Questions. So here is the first question on your screen, everyone. Check if it is. Now consider the following statement about Patrick White's Was, 1957. The novel is inspired by the historical explorer Ludwig Leichhardt. The Australian desert is represented as a romantic and nurturing space, and the two remaining options and options here. John Ulrich was represent Western metaphysical arrogance, and Laura Travelin undertakes the physical journey into the interior. Here are the options. Let me show you all the options. And it will become too small. Okay. Try to find out the correct answer. Was. Mount was you have to find out. Correct answer. Now you have to find out which is the correct statement about Patrick White's work was 1957. So if you have watched the video, you can easily find the correct answer of this question is option A and C. The novel is inspired by the writer is mentioned Ludwig Lekard, and C. Johann Ulrich was, that is the character, represents Western metaphysical arrogance. Okay, so option A and C is the correct answer. Remember, Patrick White's was is inspired by Ludwig Lekard, so A is true, and the desert is hostile and metaphysical. Was here embodies imperial ego and Western rational arrogance. So here Laura Travelin never travels physically. Her journey is spiritual and psychological. So as per this statement, only option A and C is the correct answer. Next question we have, with reference to Henry Lawson's The Drover's Wife, 1892, consider the following statement. The story idealizes bush life and heroic masculinity. The central female character remains unnamed. The bush is portrayed as hostile and threatening, and the story belongs to the tradition of bush realism. Do read by yourself once and quickly comment your answer. Henry Lawson's The Drover's Wife, 1892. Which reference statement true? You have to find out the true statement. Okay, correct. Now there will be more questions, statement based from all 10 units. So get ready for that also. I'm trying to bring each type of questions for your practice. So please pray that I'll get better soon. Correct answer option first, that is B, C, and D. The B central female character remains unnamed, which was mentioned in the PDF. C, the bush is portrayed as hostile and threatening. And D, the story belongs to the tradition of bush realism. Okay, so these are the correct statement about the work. Here, Lawson rejects bush romance. The woman is unnamed, making her representative. So, Bush here mentioned as hostile and dangerous and unforgiving. So, that is why the story is classic example of Bush realism. Another important question. Consider the following statement about Miles Franklin's My Brilliant Career 1901. The novel is semi autobiographical. The Sibylla Melvin ultimately chooses marriage over independence. The novel is an early feminist text in Australian literature and it critiques marriage as an institution. Correct statement you have to find out about the work My Brilliant Career. I was preparing the world literature like including Australian, Nigerian, African, American, Canadian, Caribbean, Indian, British. But that video is going to be like more than 6, 7, 8 hours long. So that long video I can't I'm not able to record in this condition. So I thought to upload separately. Correct statement you have to find out about my brilliant career, everyone. So option 1, A, C and D. The novel is a semi-autobiographical. Okay. Option C, the novel is an early feminist text in Australian literature, which was also mentioned. And D, it critiques marriage as an institution. So Sibylla Melville ultimately chooses marriage. No, she rejects. She doesn't choose. Okay. So the novel here draws heavily on Franklin's life. Sibylla rejects marriage to preserve autonomy, and it is a foundational feminist novel and critiques marriage as a restrictive. So that is why option A, C, and D would be the correct. Now let's see the matching. Four. Only one is the fourth one I will mention here. No? A first, B third, C fourth. Okay. Read the question first. You have to match least one work and least two themes. Was we are going through history of the Cali gang and my place. Indigenous dispossession, postmodern historiography, anti-heroic exploration, and recovery of silenced identity. For A first, right? B was second. The fourth statement. 1 second. A first, B third, and C four, D second. Let me put A first, B third, C fourth, and D was second. This was the fourth option. Correct answer? So was. A you can match with option first. A you can match was anti-heroic exploration. B first, we are going indigenous dispossession. C second, the history of the Cali gang, postmodern historiography, and my place, recovery of silence identity. So options one is the correct answer. Here was critics' heroic exploration. We are going versus indigenous dispossession. Peter Carey's novel is postmodern historiographic fiction, and My Place focuses on recovered indigenous identity. So option A is the correct answer. Another matching questions. Now you have author and work. David Marlowe, Tim Binton, Udguru Nonukal, Sally Morgan. Cloud Street, Fly Away Peter, We Are Going, and My Place. Comment your answer. This is how I'm watching you. Sally Morgan, My Place we can match. Sorry. D with 4. So we can find here and here. Okay. David Malov we can match with Fly Away Peter. So A with first. In option A first and third we can find. Now Tim Winton, Cloud Street. Tim Winton we can match with We Are Going. Not Cloud Street. We Are Going. So it's It's right now. Team Winter, Cloud State. I was right. So B with first, and B with first we can find in the option 1 only. So this is the correct answer. Okay. Use the elimination option in the exam. Sometimes, it happens one question matches easily and rest of the options you can find. That is also a luck. David Malov wrote Fly Away Peter, Tim Winton wrote Cloud State, Udgiro Nonukal wrote We Are Going, and Sally Morgan, My Place. Now, another important question, arrange the following Australian literary works in chronological order of publication. And here are the works The Drover's Wife, My Brilliant Career Was, and the last one, Cloud Street. Options you can see. This is something really problematic. I may have to add the options like this order. Okay, see the options and match. Then again, now students, the one especially Ashwini is going to comment, ma'am, please increase the font size. Correct answer? So correct answer, we have option 1, okay? Option 1 that you can match A, B, C and D. Already in order. Drover's Wife by Henry Lawson, 1892. My Brilliant Career, Miles Franklin, 1901. Was Patrick White, 1957. Cloud State, Tim Winton, 1991. Okay, remember the year. Another important question. Arrange the following works related to indigenous Australian experience in correct chronological order. Here are the work. Aboriginal writers and indigenous writers. Aboriginal writers. Australian Aboriginal writers. Okay, after this question, we will have the Aboriginal writers, okay, specifically. Correct answer? Let's finish fast. So it's option 1, A, D, B, and C. A, D, the first, B, and the last, remembering Babylon. This work is very important, everybody. Do not forget to prepare about that. We are going 1964, remembering Babylon 1993. This one I'm talking about. My Place 1987, and Follow the Rabbit Proof 1996. Okay. Now, consider the following statement about Peter Carey. Schindler's Ark and Schindler's List refers to the same novel. Peter Carey won the Booker Prize twice. Oscar and Lucinda deals with indigenous dispossession directly, and True History of the Cali Gang is written as a fictional autobiography. Which statement is correct? Are correct. Sorry. About Peter Carey, you have to find out the correct statement. So option A, B, and D only. Schindler's Ark and List refers to the same novel. Just told you. Peter Carey won the Booker Prize twice. Correct. Two statements. And the D. True History of the Cali Gang is written as a fictional autobiography. Okay. These statements are correct. Next question. Now, which Australian novel represent a white child raised by Aboriginal people as a symbol of cultural hybridity? Cloud State was Remembering Babylon, My Place. White child raised by Aboriginal people. Correct answer is option 3, Remembering Babylon. Okay. Remembering Babylon, here Gemi fairly represents liminality, hybridity, and colonial anxiety in David Maloff's Remembering Babylon. So here you will find the white child raised by Aboriginal people. Next question, which of the following pairs is most appropriate? Henry Lawson, romantic bush poetry; Patrick White, social realism; Udguru, non-local indigenous protest poetry; and Tim Winton, postmodern historiography. Correct answer, it's option 3, Odguru Nonkel, indigenous protest poetry, and in the protest, she has changed her name too. So here, this is the correct answer. Lawson here is a realistic, not romantic. Patrick White is modernist, not socialist. Social realist, writer, social and spiritual realism, not historiographic metafiction, and Odguru associated with the protest poetry. So that's why this work and statement is correct. Tim Winton, right? Social and spiritual realism. Now let's see few of the reference from the previous year questions. So here is the question on your screen. Little bit I will make it. Which of the following statement about the Bulletin School are correct? It promoted Australian nationalism. It focused on bush life and mateship. It influenced by British romantic poetry, and Henry Lawson was one of its major writers. In this PDF, you will find this question also, so you can practice or you can add more on. Majorly, what I have done when I was preparing, I downloaded the question paper, print out PDF, and in that PDF, I write, I prepare notes. I shared on Telegram also, if any of you remember. Correct answer. Option 1, A, B, and D. It promoted Australian nationalism, the Bulletin School magazine. It focused on bush life and mateship. And D, Henry Lawson was one of its major writers, remember. The Bulletin 1880 became the mouthpiece of Australian nationalism. Writers focused on bush realism, not British romantic idealism. Okay. And Henry Lawson is a central to this movement. That means the face. I told you in Australian literature, you will find the face, and British romantic influence is rejected, not adopted. Here you have matching. In list 1, you have writer Henry Lawson, Banjo Peterson, Unguru Nonukul, Patrick White, and association. Aboriginal poetic voice, bush realism, Australian modernist novelist, and romanticized bush poetry. So we have solved few of the questions. We can easily match. Henry Lawson, we can match with bush realism. Last moment, keep revising again and again. That won't be any harm but will benefit you. Banjo Peterson, we can match Australian modernist novelist, romanticized. Banjo Peterson, we can match romanticized bush poetry. Udguru Nonukal, we can match with Aboriginal poetic voices. And Patrick White, Australian modernist novelist. Okay, so this is how you can match. Again, there are a lot of questions. This is going to be the marathon class, so you must solve. Now, here arrange the following phases of Australian literature in correct chronological order. Or here you can see Aboriginal Indigenous Renaissance, colonial writing, nationalist, that is the Bulletin School movement, and post-colonial multicultural writing. Chronology. The year is also mentioned here, you can must remember. You must remember the year. So option we can match. Let me show you. Colonial writing begins after 1788. Nationalist movement emerges in 1890s. Indigenous Renaissance rises from 1960s, and multicultural writing expands from 1980s onwards. Okay, so this is how it's going to be the correct chronological sequence. Next important question: Australian literary nationalism is most closely associated with Australian literary nationalism. Which of these is the correct answer? Australian literary nationalism. They are talking about the identity, they are talking about the socialist realism, bush tradition, bush realism, blood country. These are the themes, the experience of Australian people that they have shown in the work. Correct answer, it's a bush tradition, option 2. Okay. Australian nationalism is constructed through rural landscape, bush life, mateship, unlike British. So here one thing is common. All the Australian literature, the people, the writers were majorly focusing on trying to portray the beauty, the landscape of Australia. Okay, where once and you can say when they started writing, apart from the British one. So they were majorly here exploring. Who was the first Aboriginal poet to publish a volume of poetry in Australia? Sally Morgan, Udguru Nonukal, Alexis Wright, or Keith Scott? If I have forgot to add any writer's name, you can comment and then ask for the PDF. I will add the name. I'm preparing a lot of things now. Sometimes it slips from the mind. Correct answer, the first Aboriginal poet. It's option 2, Odguru Nonukal, that is Kath Walker. Okay. Published first, which was We Are Going 1964, earlier known as Kath Walker, and symbol of Aboriginal literary resistance. Next, this is the assertion and reason. Let's see what it is saying. Assertion is Patrick White is considered a modernist novelist in Australian literature, and reason his novel explores psychological depth and existential alienation, which is the correct answer. Option 1, both A and R are true, and R explains correctly the reason. So, Patrick White's fiction aligns with the European modernism and adapted to Australian conditions. Okay, next question. Look at on your screen. Sorry, which of the following are characteristics of indigenous Australian literature? So here, use of oral storytelling traditions, political resistance to colonial history, celebration of British imperialism, and reclamation of identity. Characteristics of indigenous Australian. Remember, there is a difference between indigenous and aboriginal writers. So in world literature, na, I was preparing all the things. So if I will miss the Aboriginal writers here in world literature video, if I will upload, you will find the difference between both these two terms and all the highlights. The correct answer of this question is option. Which of the following are characteristics? So option A, B, and D. Uses of oral storytelling, political resistance to colonial history, and reclamation of identity. There is no options. I have not added. Next, the Bulletin magazine played a crucial role in. This question is repeated. Promoting Australian nationalism, popularizing Aboriginal writing, supporting British Victorian poetry, or developing Australian bush realism. I forgot to add the options here. So you can comment two options that it actually matches with the Bulletin magazine. So option 1, promoting Australian nationalism, and 4, developing Australian bush realism. Okay. So this is okay. So that's for all everybody. Australian literature, type of questions that you can face. All the important writers, their work highlights phases of Australian literature, very important. What the themes are very important. So do not forget to prepare. Thank you so much for joining. Let's not waste too much time. And thank you so much for your prayer also. I'm getting better and you can. Let's meet in the next class. Thank you so much for joining. Take care of yourself and bye bye.